Hello, friends. Hello, loves. Welcome to day 9 of our 30-day journal writing challenge. Can you believe we're in our second week of this journal writing challenge? Amazing. Congratulations to you. This week is all about growth. So today we're going to be focusing on shifting from surviving to thriving. Yes. Now, because this week we're focused on growth, the question is, how do you grow, right? And people talk about growth all the time. They're like, yeah, I'm growing here, I'm growing there, but what does it really mean to grow? How does it feel? What does it mean in terms of your intentions? So how do you grow? You grow through steps. You grow through a plan. You grow through nurturing your intention or your idea every day, just like a plant. And because I like props, I want to introduce you to my 2 plants. So this is my plant, Jujube. When I was 33 years old, when I turned 33 years old, I decided that I would buy myself a plant. And I've had her now, I'm turning 35 this year in June. I've had her now for almost 2 years, and she is a plant that is thriving. This is my other plant, Tina. She's a croton plant, and I got her for my 34th birthday. That was my gift to myself. And she is also thriving. She was a little bitty tiny plant, and now look at her thriving. And I brought my plants out here to talk really about what growth means. And I'm gonna give you a short anecdote. Before I got these 2 plants, I had plenty of plants in my life. I had plants that were gifted to me from my dad. I had plants that were gifted to me from friends. I could never get the plant to grow. Even though it would come to me, it would be healthy, I couldn't get it to keep growing. Something would happen where it would always die. And I was like, why is this plant always dying? What's up with that? And so then I had to throw out all my plants because I didn't know what else to do. They were all dead, dried up. And I had a realization, and the realization was I wasn't really nurturing myself. And because I wasn't nurturing myself, I really couldn't take care of or know how to properly nurture my plants. And I say all that to say that growth is about nurturing your ideas, right? When we think about ourselves as a plant, our growth is about nurturing our ideas, right? Each plant, right, like Tina and like Jujube, my 2 plants, each plant is unique and special. It requires a special amount of watering each week in order to grow successfully and thrive, right? My smaller plant needs to be watered every 2 to 3 days in order to thrive. My bigger plant needs to be watered once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on the weather. Growth begins with planting a seed, right? But before nurturing and watering it, the seed has to be planted in fertile soil. And I just want to talk about that for a minute, because growing up in New York City, I've seen plants grow through concrete. I've seen plants grow through cracks in a street, right? And they're growing, right? Because plants are strong, but they're not really thriving, they're more surviving. They're not growing through their full potential, they're more growing to their surviving potential, right? They're growing enough. The soil is the rich earth that gives the seed support to sprout, right? If there is debris and garbage surrounding the seed, it may survive, but the question is, will it thrive? And I bring that up because when you're thinking about planting a seed, right? You don't want to plant your seed on top of trash. You don't want to plant your seed on top of garbage or clutter, because yes, it may grow, it may survive, but it's not going to thrive that way because there's too much debris and dirt and well, not dirt. There's too much debris and garbage and all sorts of things getting in the way, right? Now, let's think of this as a metaphor. And I try to drop for you guys today. If this is the seed, your seed in your life represents your biggest dream, goal, or idea. If this is the soil represents your mind and your environment, right? And growth itself is all about having clean, fertile soil. You really want your soil to be amazing, right? And that means you really want your mind, your environment to be clear. It's not full of clutter. It's not full of negativity. It's clear. It's clean. It's fresh. It's rich, right? And then that creates your ability to plant a strong seed. And when you nurture it, I have a picture of a sun and a watering can. If you nurture it, it can really, truly grow. Now, I've been tossing around words for a little while. I've been tossing around thrive and survive. And I know these are words that we hear regularly, but I love to know the etymology, to know the definitions of words for real. And according to Oxford Dictionary, when you say, I'm surviving means that you are existing, right? You are continuing to exist. You're here. And that's admirable. When you survive, you're here. But when you thrive, that means that you are prospering. The paper was showing me that it was thriving, right? It was like, I'm here. That means that you are prospering and flourishing, right? And that's the difference. Surviving is continuing to exist. Prospering and flourishing is what thriving really means. So, for today's challenge, as always, I want you in your journal entry to start with gratitude, because you always want to start with gratitude. 3 things that you are grateful for and why. And then, as we always do, ask a question for reflection. And today's question has several parts because we are focused on thriving. And the first part of the question is, what is thriving in your life right now and why? Ask yourself, what is thriving in my life and why? And when I say why, I really want to know, how do you know that? Be descriptive, be specific, okay? What is thriving in my life right now? And how do I know? Why? The next part is take yourself on a mental time machine. How did you get it to thrive? And the I'm talking about is the thing that you listed in question 1 that's thriving in your life right now. I want you to go back in time and really think about how you got it to thrive. What was that thing that you did? Is it your exercise? Is it your health? Is it your diet? Whatever it is, the food that you eat, how did you get it to the point where now you feel in your life it's something that's flourishing and prospering, right? Which means thrive. I want you to list those steps in detail. First, I did this. Then I did that, right? It could be with my health. First, I started going to a nutritionist. Then I started following a more restrictive food plan. Then I started making sure that I cut things out of my life that I knew weren't going to help me. Whatever your steps are, list those steps. And 3, take an assessment. What is one thing in your life now that is surviving, right? That you would say, oh, that thing is continuing to exist and that thing that you want to thrive. So you want to bring that thing from surviving, just existing, to thriving in your life. Identify that thing. What is that one thing? And write it down. And then finally, I want you to ask yourself, looking at your list of steps to thrive from question number 2, what are the 3 steps that you can take this month to ensure that the thing that you want to move moves from surviving to thriving? Okay? So I want you to look at question 2, where I ask you, how did you get it to thrive? And you were asked to write a list of the things you did, the steps that you did. And I want you to apply it to this 4th question, right? You know there's something in your life right now, whether it's an idea, whether it's, I want to wake up earlier, I want to be more active. Whatever those things are that you say you want to bring from a state of surviving to thriving, that you want to improve, I want you to look at the steps in question number 2 that you took to bring the things that are thriving in your life to thrive, and think about 3 ways you can bring those same steps to the new thing you want to get thriving in your life now. I hope that you really get dirty and gritty into the soil with this exercise. I know it's not easy. I want to encourage you, if you're feeling like these questions are tough, it's okay. They are tough. They're tough for me as well. If you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to write, here's what I suggest. Take 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Set your timer, 3 minutes to 5 minutes. And just write. Just write. Just get in, before you start this challenge, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just get into the habit of writing. Don't let your pen leave the page for 3 minutes. And when the timer goes off, you can stop. You can put your journal away. If you're saying, well, I don't know what to write, just write about what you're grateful for. You can start with your breath. I guarantee if you get into that habit of just writing for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, don't worry about the spelling. Don't worry about if it sounds eloquent. Just get in the habit of writing. You will really start building a solid foundation. I wish you all the good blessings. I send you lots of love and positive energy. As always, I love to hear from you. If you'd like to tag me in your post about this challenge, you can tag me at Julia Speaks Love. You want to connect to other people doing this challenge, you can put the hashtag Julia Journal Challenge. And if you'd like to talk to me one-on-one about this journal challenge, I'd love to hear from you. You can send me a DM. Sending you lots of good blessings and love, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next challenge. Bye.